If you have been following the main universe Spider-Man comics in recent years, then I am sure that you would have noticed the divide between fans and Spider-Man editorial over events in the books with respect to the primary relationship in Spider-Man comics, Peter Parker and Mary Jane. But there is a new development that promises to shake things up, even if it is not exactly related to anything in the main universe comics. This is the announcement of a brand new Ultimate Spider-Man series featuring a married Peter Parker and Mary Jane with kids. But what makes this situation different and so satisfying compared to the past? Let's take a look. To give you a brief recap, Marvel broke up the marriage between Peter Parker and Mary Jane in a very convoluted manner in a story called One More Day that has become one of the most infamous stories in Marvel history. This happened in 2007, and in the years following that, Marvel either completely avoided using Mary Jane or used her for weird cameos, where she was mostly written out of character and unlike the character she was before One More Day. Fast forward to 2018, and fan demand for Peter and MJ persisted despite Marvel's best efforts to write out Mary Jane. They finally gave in and allowed Peter and MJ to get back together, and while the run fluctuated in quality, the return of the Peter and MJ relationship was received warmly, and Marvel being Marvel could not let that stand. The run following that started with Mary Jane living with a mysterious man and having kids and doubling down on it despite the horribly negative fan reception. I do want to go into that in detail in the future, but for now let us just say that the situation of the 616 Peter Parker comics continues to worsen, and to everyone's chagrin, it seems like that will continue for the foreseeable future. In 2000, Marvel released a new Spider-Man comic series titled Ultimate Spider-Man featuring a new version of Peter Parker set in an alternate universe which became known as the Ultimate Universe. This series featured a teenage Peter Parker and was a modern reinterpretation of the character that proved to be widely popular and served as a great entry point for so many fans. Unfortunately, the rest of the Ultimate Universe books could not manage the quality of the Ultimate Spider-Man series. Despite the initial popularity boost based on the concept of fresh and modern takes of Marvel characters, the Ultimate Universe ended up featuring several edgy, weird storylines that caused the Ultimate Universe to become extremely infamous for the wrong reasons and become known as a horrible universe. In 2015, Marvel finally pulled the plug on the universe, with the sole survivors being the second Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and the evil Reed Richards, the Maker. The years following that return of the Ultimate Universe was consistently teased, but it did not lead to anything much until 2023, where Marvel finally officially announced the return of the Ultimate Universe with a brand new line of books. It is important to note that this new Ultimate Universe is a rebooted version of the original Ultimate Universe and not a continuation of the original Ultimate Universe comics, which is a fantastic decision that allows them to start over without having to deal with the baggage and the controversy that surrounded the. So, what does this have to do with Spider-Man and the current Spider-Man books? Well, Marvel recently revealed that the new line of Ultimate Universe books will include a new Ultimate Spider-Man series that will feature an older version of Peter Parker and confirm that he will be married to Mary Jane Watson and have two kids as well. This is the exact thing that fans have been clamoring for in the main universe for years now. Now, we have seen this concept before in popular alternate universe series like Spider-Girl and Renewer Wars, but what makes this reveal particularly satisfying and exalting for fans is that it is happening right as the current ASM run is doing its absolute best to butcher the characters of Peter Parker and Mary Jane. That is what has made this news feel like a breath of fresh air. Hell, look at the covers for the series. The very first image we get to see from the reveal is the romantic variant cover by the wonderful artist Elizabeth Toke. I'm sorry if I butchered her name. Now, this is in direct contrast to the current ASM shenanigans and feels like a welcome reminder of how things should be. The next image reveals the family of this new Ultimate Spider-Man, and it is by artist Ryan Stegman, and it feels like a reminder of the destination that the main universe Spider-Man seems destined to never reach. I want to actually focus on the new Ultimate Spider-Man and what his series might have in store for us. First of all, we have an incredible creative team of Jonathan Hickman and Marco Cecchetto. I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but okay. Hickman is known for some epic Marvel runs, some of which are my all-time favorites, and I'm very interested in seeing what he does with a character like Spider-Man in his own solo series. A solo Spider-Man series is very different from the type of stories that he usually does. I am confident in his ability to handle the family aspect, especially after his FF run, but it should be interesting to see how he does a street-level superhero series. Marco Cecchetto is coming off a fantastic Daredevil run, and he's easily one of the best comic artists right now, and it's going to be delightful seeing him drawing Spider-Man on a monthly basis. Now, let us dig into the actual details of the series. at least based on what we know at the moment. Ever since the new Ultimate series was announced with an older Peter Parker, I was hyped. And after the confirmation that he will be married to a Mary Jane and have kids, my excitement knew no bounds. It is important to remember that this is the brand new version of Spider Man. This is not a continuation of the original Ultimate Spider-Man series. These are not the grown-up versions of the Earth 1610 versions of Peter Parker and Mary Jane. This is Earth 6160, which debuted recently in the Ultimate Invasion miniseries by Hickman and Brian Hitch. Earth 6160 is a rebooted version of the Ultimate Universe and is a brand new universe with no history, so you do not need to actually know anything before reading the series. The other potentially intriguing aspect that has not been 100% confirmed at the moment but has been heavily implied is that this Peter Parker will be becoming Spider-Man as an adult, which could make for a compelling twist on the iconic origin story. It's not exactly clear whether the series will start with the origin story and whether his adult superhero journey will begin after the birth of his children or whether it happened before their birth. Either way, this is an excellent way to differentiate this new version from the countless Spider-Man alternate versions we know, and I'm very excited to see how they manage to execute it. An adult Peter who's suddenly a hero is going to have a very tough time managing his life and career and roles as father and husband with his superhero life, and that is sure to cause a lot of drama and conflict. It is an alternate universe, so I expect some more radical changes, and I can't wait to see the different versions of Spider-Man's friends, family, and enemies in this new Ultimate Universe. Ever since the series was announced, people started joking that something will immediately happen to destroy Peter Parker's family. Now, I find that unlikely, and I know people are just joking. Spider-Man fans are no strangers to drama, conflict, and tragedy. They are core aspects of Spider-Man stories after all. It is the execution that really matters. Drama should happen without butchering the characters, and conflict should be executed in a way that it makes sense while also making sure that the same conflict is not being repeated again and again. Drama, conflict, and tragedy are ultimately meant to challenge the characters so that they come out the better for it. That is what the current ASM run has forgotten, and I hope this new Ultimate Spider-Man run manages to remind them of that aspect. I will give my 2 cents on that whole debacle in another video sometime in the future. That is something I'm very excited about. But right now, I have pretty much given up on 616 Spider-Man and Mary Jane. At this point, I just enjoy laughing at every new horrible development that run keeps producing. I'm just happy to finally have something Peter Parker related in the comics to actually root for and enjoy. For the foreseeable future, this is going to be the Peter Parker and Mary Jane I care about, even though we know pretty much nothing about them at the moment. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.